Francisco Tzul is among hundreds of garment workers who've recently been infected by COVID-19. He was in the hospital for 10 days.
I almost lost my life because one of the symptoms, the most difficult, terrible symptoms that I had is when I felt like my respiratory system was completely blocked. And that's when I felt like I was going to die.
As an undocumented immigrant, he gets no pay for being sick or unemployed. He has no choice but to get back to work, where he says face coverings and social distancing are not properly enforced. And he says the risks he takes are not compensated with his salary.
The people on the garment industry in this area are not making the minimum wage at all. That's one of the most difficult things that we're facing now. A lot of people are earning like $350, $300, which is enough just to pay the rent. So what about food, groceries?
The factory where he contracted the virus, Los Angeles Apparel, suffered the worst coronavirus outbreak of any business in the country, according to officials. With more than 300 employees testing positive, 4 have died. Some of the garment factories in Los Angeles were able to reopen before others after being classified as essential businesses for producing masks and face shields. But given the high demand for those products, advocacy groups say it is the garment workers who are now paying a heavy price. The Garment Workers Center is a non-profit in LA, pushing for accountability in what appears to have become a cycle of exploitation among migrant workers.
We have 45,000 garment workers in Los Angeles, and there's been a huge impact. But the problem with the numbers is that most of the garment factories in Los Angeles are considered sweatshops, so the owners are not reporting. And also some of the workers are afraid, due to documentation issues, from reporting as well.
A garment worker stops by to report on another colleague who got sick from COVID-19 infection and needs financial assistance.
Los dueños de la factoría ni siquiera proporcionan una mascarilla.
The owners of the factory don't even provide a mask. If someone says, I didn't bring one, what they do is, okay, here you go, it will cost $5. It seems to me very unfair, especially when we are sewing them ourselves and some people just don't have the resources to buy a mask.
One of the companies we reached out to said they were strictly following the regulations while trying to meet an unprecedented demand for large quantities of PPE in a very short time.
There was days where I was getting calls that, I needed the gowns quicker, or nurses were wearing trash bags. Like, the urgency of it was so crazy and palpable that, we had to run night shifts and everything we were doing while keeping people safe.
The masks they produce will keep Americans safe, but they continue to risk their lives for less than what they deserve. It is Tianshan, CGTN, Los Angeles.